CJ Stroud has been named Ohio State's starting quarterback, and we need to talk about this because this is incredibly interesting. Not only with what it is Stroud is able to do, we need to talk about the other names on the roster, as well as what this means for Quinn Ewers, who just got to Ohio State to be able to benefit from NIL. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all. Hop down in the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that CJ Stroud is now named the starting quarterback of the Ohio State Buckeyes? Let me know what you're thinking there. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it, and I have got a lot of cool stuff planned for the upcoming season, and I would love to have you a part of this journey. And if you do enjoy this content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions are massive. But with all of that being said, let's talk about this. And look, on face value, CJ Stroud is an incredibly talented passer from California. When he was coming out, he actually won Elite 11 MVP honors in a quarterback class that was incredibly talented, that included some of your top guys such as DJ Uiagalelei, who looks to take over for Trevor Lawrence at Clemson, and Bryce Young, who's taking over from Mac Jones at Alabama. So you're talking about two guys that had incredible college careers as far as what they were able to do statistically and the impact they left. You got two guys from the state of California taking over their respective positions, and CJ Stroud is another incredibly talented passer from the state of California taking over for one Justin Fields. To me, that is incredibly interesting because it doesn't just end with those three. You have CJ Stroud, you have DJ Uiagalelei, you have Bryce Young, all from California. But when you look at college football, you have JT Daniels, Georgia's starting quarterback, also from the state of California. You have Matt Corral, Ole Miss's starting quarterback, also from a similar area in California. The California quarterbacks right now are some of the most prolific quarterbacks we have in the college football game, and are some of the quarterbacks that people like myself cannot wait to see actually get some meaningful playing time, whether that's DJU getting a full season, Bryce Young, who I cannot wait for. When you watch Bryce Young play, I mean, he is so exciting. And now CJ Stroud, now that we know he is the guy at Ohio State, which I had believed for quite some time that he was going to be the guy. If you remember, Quarterback Spotlight and I not too long ago did a video talking about how we both believed that CJ Stroud would ultimately be the guy at Ohio State. His depth of ability is insane, and Quarterback Spotlight even went as far as to say that if he didn't think it was Stroud, he thought it would be Kyle McCord, because both those guys, to him, really separated themselves in Ohio State spring day, and I had to agree. But when you looked at it, Ohio State didn't have a weak name in the quarterback competition, in my opinion. Every one of those guys was incredibly talented, very highly touted coming out of high school, and from top to bottom, Ohio State's quarterback room is unbelievably insanely talented, and that was even before you added in Quinn Ewers, the five-star quarterback from South Lake Carroll, who has decided to forego his senior season so that he can benefit from NIL at Ohio State, which more power to him. If you have the ability to do that, life is short and tomorrow is not guaranteed, so you may as well go and profit as much as you can while you can. More power to you. Ohio State's quarterback room is loaded, but what is it about CJ Stroud in particular that I like so much? And it is just what I said, it's the depth of his ability. When you watch him coming out of high school, it was so easy to understand why so many institutions were so high on him, and why the state of California was talked about in such high regards when they were talking about their top three quarterbacks. In Bryce Young, DJU, and CJ Stroud, those guys were some dudes out there in California tossing the ball around, and I cannot wait to see him get to the next level, especially with what it is Ryan Day likes to do with his quarterback. Stroud has some athleticism to him, but he has the arm to make all the throws, and I cannot wait to see how that's implemented, especially week 1 against Minnesota, which is not an easy outing. I understand Ohio State should win that game, but Minnesota's a good team. I'm very interested to see how that game goes down, and especially when you look a little bit further into the schedule, and you have Ohio State, Oregon, which I think the eyes of the college football world are going to be watching intently on that game. But this ultimately for Quinn Ewers means that he's going to be sitting and waiting his turn for the present time, which really doesn't mean anything considering that he should be in high school football this year playing his senior year. I would have been absolutely blown away if he went in there and won the job on such little time, especially when these guys have had spring to benefit from, years of experience in some of their cases. it was just going to be a really uphill battle for Quinn Ewers to try and go in there and ultimately win a spot in that loaded quarterback room. But I'm very interested to see how the quarterbacks behind CJ Stroud continue to progress, because like I just said, that might be, from top to bottom, your deepest quarterback room in the nation. Whether you're talking about CJ Stroud, Kyle McCord, Jack Miller, and now you add in Quinn Ewers, who is on pace to be one of, I believe, 7 quarterbacks ever to get a perfect rating per 24/7 Sports. Regardless, he was going to be an absolute rarefied air when it came down to his ranking. So he's an individual that we have got to keep an eye on, especially this year. I don't know that he plays this year. I think it's highly unlikely he plays this year given the talent they have on roster. But in the future, that is a situation that we have got to watch, because when you have that many talented quarterbacks, these guys know that they can go elsewhere and play, and you can't keep all of them for that amount of time. So I'm very interested to see how this shakes up. But regardless, Ohio State in their quarterback room, they're in good hands. Let me know what you're thinking down below. Let me know what you're thinking about CJ Stroud. And if you didn't think CJ Stroud would be the starter, which one did you think would be the starter? Because they're all incredibly talented. That's it. See ya.